Charges are now filed in the shooting death of a Maple Grove man. Stephen Markey was shot and killed last Tuesday in northeast Minneapolis. According to charges filed against two teenage boys, Markey was the victim of an attempted carjacking. One of the suspects is 16 years old, the other 15. Both are in police custody. Prosecutors have filed a motion to try the boys as adults. New Hope police are being credited with apprehending the two teens. Reporter Sonia Goins is live at the police station with more details. Sonia?
Shannon, the New Hope police chief says his officers happened to be at the right place at the right time. If it wasn't for the two officers and two very quick thinking Domino's Pizza employees, we might be telling a very different story. Last Wednesday around 2:22 in the morning, New Hope police got a call from some Domino's Pizza employees. They told them that the Boost mobile store across the street was being burglarized.
Flashlights, car out front, and called 911.
When the first officer arrived on the scene, he spotted a car taking off with its lights off. Shortly afterwards, a chase started.
Weaving in and out of the lanes. Fortunately, there was not any traffic.
As the car was hitting on the ramp to go northbound on 169, it crashed into a fence. Police then cornered the car and stopped the teens with their squad cars.
The officers quickly got into a position where they could pit the vehicle and stop it.
Once they got the two teens out of the car, police realized they were dealing with some very dangerous people.
Once they ended the chase, they took the suspects out of the car at gunpoint and later discovered that they not only had committed the burglary in New Hope, but they had committed a burglary in St. Louis Park. They located a gun in the car, and the car was stolen from St. Louis Park.
Chief Verdier says he's very proud of his officers. He says they exercised controlled and did exactly what they were supposed to do. He also told me that they didn't discover the connection between the Minneapolis homicide until the next day. Live in New Hope, Sonia Goins, CCX News.
All right, thank you, Sonia. Two updates to a story we continue to follow, the possible state audit of the Robbinsdale area school district. At Monday night's school board meeting, the board accepted the report of a third-party investigation into district hiring practices. The investigation found no wrongdoing, and board members said they hoped the investigation could put some accusations to rest. Also on Monday, the group of citizens working toward triggering a state audit of the district says they've collected the signatures they need. They turned more than 2,300 signatures over to the county auditor for verification. If validated, the petition goes to the state auditor's office for consideration. Spring and summer in Minnesota means boating and lots of it. And with boating comes talk about invasive species contaminating our lakes.
Invasive species that are everything from mussels to every kind of weed that you can think of is fouling our lakes. It's something that we have to be concerned about.
And that's why Representative Dean Phillips hosted a roundtable Monday to talk to experts about what the problem is and what to do about it. One takeaway for Phillips: education.
When I learned that only young boaters under the age of 17 are getting the education about this issue, of course my first reaction is, why not everybody? Because if the common response when people are not passing inspections is, I had no idea, that says everything we need to know. Education costs so much less than the devastation that results from a lack of it.
Phillips plans to take what he learned back to Washington to work on helping the state fight invasive species. Hiking is a great way for you and your dog to get in some exercise. And this week's Daphne approved, Meredith Hackler shows us a dog park where you and your dog can get plenty of exercise.
Welcome to Three Rivers Crowhassan Dog Park, where there's 40 acres for your furry friend to run until they can't anymore. Crowhassan is the largest dog park in the Three Rivers network.
It's a great area. It borders the Crow River, and unique about this park, it is not fenced, but it is 40 acres, so you have a lot of space to run here.
As you can see, Daphne was loving all the space to run. But as Lynn said, it isn't fenced in, so if your dog doesn't have a good recall, this might not be the park to bring them to.
Obviously, at all the parks, you really want to have a good recall for your dog, but here that ups the ante a little bit, so you want to be really solid with your recall for your dog coming out here.
Another thing Daphne loves is swimming. And if your dog likes to swim, this would be a great place to bring him.
The trail goes right along the river. Right now, with the river being high, you know, the trail is a little bit flooded, but yes, the dogs can go in the river here.
When we visited the park, it was pretty flooded. But that didn't stop Daphne from getting in and as muddy as possible. Yeah, we definitely had to have a bath after this visit. The good news is the park also has a place to grab water for your dog, and if you're a hunter, there are also some unique opportunities for you.
For people that are training for hunt, you can do hunt training here as well, which is really unique in the Twin Cities area.
While I don't think Daphne will be training for hunts anytime soon, the openness of the park allows your dog to run carefree. And with 40 acres, us humans can get a workout too with hiking trails in multiple areas. Another great thing is the park is spread out. So if your dog gets overwhelmed by too many dogs in a small place, this park would be perfect, making the Crowhasson Dog Park Daphne approved.
And a reminder for you, of course, you can see all of Daphne and Meredith's adventures to their dog parks in our area on our website, ccxmedia.org.
The Benilde-St. Margaret's baseball team is set to play for a state championship. The Red Knights meet St. Thomas Academy for the Class 3A title Thursday afternoon at Target Field. The players have time for a few more practice sessions before they play in the first championship game in the history of their baseball program. It's been quite an ending to the spring season for the sports at the school. The Red Knights baseball team is in the state final. The boys lacrosse team played in the state championship Saturday, losing to Prior Lake. And the BSM softball team also qualified for state.
A fantastic time to be a Red Knight. We are really doing well in the sports side of things. I mean, yeah, like you said, like the teams that made it to state are incredible. And lacrosse, I know, even though they lost in the state championship, but just getting there, 2 teams in the state championship is phenomenal. So it's a great time to be a Red Knight.
Well, more on the Red Knights and their preparations for the state title game Wednesday afternoon on CCX News. Our Sports Jam show on CCX just finished production on its 21st season. On this week's season finale, Jay Wilcox and I named the top players from the area in both baseball and softball. Here's part of what you'll see.
Our first basemen are led by Champlin Park slugger Holly Blaska. The first team All-State pick and Miss Softball finalist hit .597 with 12 home runs, 46 runs scored, and 31 RBIs. She'll play at Miami of Ohio. Marie Schupanitz of Ticino Grace wrapped up a great career with a strong senior season. The Eagles' offensive MVP, Schupanitz hit .481 with 16 runs batted in. She'll play at St. Thomas next season. Kiara Hurd of Park Center is a good fielder as a first baseman and catcher and was Pirates' offensive MVP. She battled through an injury to hit .436 with 7 runs batted in. Hurt will play for Crown College. Maple Grove's Ellie Hosman rounds out our first baseman. Hosman hit .400 and was second on the Crimson with 28 RBIs. She's an all-conference and all-section pick as a junior.
Our talented catching corps includes Champlin Park's Tyler Gakeen. The junior hit .333 for the season, including big hits that led to an upset of top-seeded Ticino Grace in the section tournament.
Gakeen delivers for a third time.
In 138 innings behind the plate, Gakeen allowed just 1 passed ball. Hopkins' Jake Perry is a great receiver for a talented and deep Royals pitching staff. Just a sophomore, Perry hit .338 with 8 extra base hits and 16 runs batted in. He was named All-Lake Conference.
Find the ball!
Osseo's John Klein was both a catcher and pitcher for the Orioles this spring. Klein hit .373 for Osseo with 5 doubles and a home run and a slugging percentage of .522. The junior was named to the all-section team. Watch the full teams plus state baseball, lacrosse, and golf highlights on Sports Jam. It's on through Wednesday at 3:30, 6:30, and 9:30 p.m. on CCX1 or online anytime at ccxmedia.org. That's all for sports. Shannon, back to you.
All right, thank you, John. In the things you don't see every day category, a dog takes an oath of office. Maple Grove's K9 officer Rudy was sworn in during Monday's city council meeting. The Belgian Malinois came to Minnesota from Hungary in February, and now he is trained and ready to go to work. He joins Kalo, the dog who started Maple Grove's K9 unit. A Golden Valley chef is in the spotlight, and Ahmed from Lat 14 in Golden Valley and Lemongrass in Brooklyn Park has been chosen to participate in a prestigious leadership program for women created by the James Beard Foundation. The foundation started this initiative for female chefs as a way to address gender imbalance in the industry. Ahmed is one of 20 female chefs from across the country chosen for the program with a goal of growing their career and business. So congratulations.